what's up, YouTube? Today is Monday, my last day of work. And instead of making me work 5 days in a row, I only work 4 days in a row. So I did say I was gonna make a part one and a part two of there's two different types of Chads. Because I said when we get closer to spring break, it's spring, but it's not 100% officially spring break yet. Because that starts in about a week or 2 weeks from now. And so I decided I'm going to give you part one of Sex Game Two Chads in the dating game part one. And then you got to wait until spring break to get part two. And during that time period, I will probably be taking like a month off. I'm going to see if I can actually go a whole month not doing too many videos on this channel because I told you I'm going to be going to driving school either in the middle of spring break, maybe towards the end of spring break, and you can't do YouTube videos and learn how to drive. Sacrifices must be made. We can always come back to the YouTube videos on days where I'm not going to work, going to the gym, or learning how to drive. So you guys got to be patient and bear with me. Doesn't matter if I'm popular for something good, popular for something bad, or not even popular at all. Um, can't do both. Can't drive a car and do YouTube videos. And you see, I don't go to work until like 5:30, so I get like at least 4 hours to kill. Which half of that's gonna be to wash my work clothes because they stank and they smell like corn dogs. And you know, I don't want to wait until tomorrow to do it because I want to have that. I want to have that Tuesday off where I can just go to the gym and just be solid. But on my sports channel, I am going to talk about why the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl and why the 49ers lost because I know someone's going to be on my sports channel talking about, yeah, man, you wrong about your prediction. I know it's coming. Now, this video is Sex Game, Two Chads, and the Dating Game Part 1. Now, this YouTube video is for mature audience. So if you're not 18 or if you're not 21 years old, if you're not 30, if you're not 45, you should not be watching this YouTube video. If you're a little kid and you're like 12 or 13 years old, you ain't got no business watching this video. You may think I'm cool, you might think I'm badass, and then your parents or grandparents or your uncle or your auntie bust in on you and get mad and upset and be like, why are you watching this asshole's YouTube channel? And give you a 2 hour or 3 hour lecture on the difference between right and wrong. So if you're not 18, if you're not 25, if you're not 30, if you're not 45 or 50, you ain't got no business watching this YouTube channel. YouTube has required all YouTube content creators to tell you if your content's for kids or for adults. Mine's is for adults. And adults watch this channel. People who like my channel, people who hate and despise my channel. And if you're a teenager, you ain't got no business watching this YouTube channel because your mom would not want me telling you this information until you get like 21. And to be honest, tell you the truth, your mom would not want you to learn this information until you're like at least 25. Your dad would probably say, I don't want you to learn this information until you turn 30. But the case is, if you're not those ages, you can't be watching my channel. I don't want you two to be sending me notifications time. I thought we told you to tell the audience is your content for kids or for adults. Because they'll keep sending those until you actually follow the rules. You get a strike one, definitive strike one. You don't follow the rules, you get a strike definitive two. And you keep getting those until your channel, not just one channel, but all your channels get terminated. And it has happened to 2 or 3 YouTubers already. So that's why I got to do the name disclaimer. It sucks, it's boring, but I have to do it or I'll get in trouble. Alright, now we got the difficult part out of the way. Let's get to the misconception. There are pre-connotions in the sex dating game between men and women about the Chad. You've seen Chad in movies, television shows, commercials, books, social media, and you even have pickup artists and dating coaches who describe to you the Chad who goes to the nightclubs. He goes to the bar. They always want to say Chad is between 5'11" to 6'4", and he got the badass black leather jacket. He's got the sports car. He drives the motorcycles, and that's the type of guy all girls want. Now, here's my problem with Matt, I won't say I have a problem with Matt Cross from the 33 Secrets. I actually watch his YouTube channel. I watch Alpha Male Secrets. I have nothing but respect for this man. I've never met this man in person, but I've watched his YouTube videos for the past 5 years. I like his content. I respect his content. And I've always told you to go watch his content. You've heard me say it 3 years ago. Go watch the 33 Secrets. Go watch the Alpha Male Secrets. It used to be called 44 Secrets. Then he changed it to Alpha Male Secrets. That's why I say always go watch Matt Cross's 33 Secrets. Go watch his channel. Go support his channel. Go like his channel. Go subscribe to his content. And I've always said I would always trust him between 70 to like maybe 80%, sometimes 85. And I said I will never give no one, not just Matt Cross, but no one 85, 90, 95, or will never give them 100% credit. Because as you do know in this world, nobody's perfect. Nobody is exactly 100% perfect all the time. You're going to make at least 2, 3, maybe 4 mistakes. There are some cases where you can make 5 to 10 mistakes in 1 year. So nobody's perfect. And he made this YouTube video that I wanted to finally kind of make a, I don't want to say a counter argument to, but it's called more, it's more like a, I want to call it a video that's disingenuous. That's the best intelligent word. It's very disingenuous. Because what most pickup artists and dating coaches fail to tell you when you go to their 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour pickup artist seminar, now they're referring to them as pickup artists or dating coach boot camps. This ain't the military. They fail to tell you that there's not one Chad. There's actually two Chads. So when they be trying to tell you, oh, go to the nightclubs and the bars, and they give you the nickname called the Chad Slayer. That's probably what he called the YouTube video. I'm the Chad Slayer. I take out all the Chads. First of all, he's not just him, but most pickup artists. They don't even tell you which Chad they're talking about. 90% of the time, you would just naturally assume they're referring to the Chad that you see in the movies, the television shows, the Chad that you went to high school and college with. That's how you would just assume it. He's not telling you if this Chad plays basketball, football, baseball. He's not telling you if this Chad's a bodybuilder, a weightlifter, a personal trainer. So you have no idea when he says the word Chad. You don't know. See, Chad could be actually anyone walking up the street, down the street. Chad could be at your job who get all the girls. Chad could be the guy that you go to Foot Locker to buy shoes who be pulling them phone numbers. So when he says Chad, he's not telling you 100% specifically who is he referring to when he says Chad. For him to say the Chad Slayer. And you see, here's why I say never listen to stupid, delusional pickup artists and dating coaches, period. Chad knows how to talk socially, okay? The Chad that you see in the movies, the television shows, the Chad that they show in social media pictures, the Chad that you would see on the dating sites, the Chad that you see playing basketball, football, baseball, he knows how to speak social intelligence. He knows how to be sociable with highly quality, physically, sexually attractive women. Doesn't matter if it's black women, white women, Mexican women, Asian, Indian, Samoan women. It don't matter if they're young women, older women, black, white, Mexican. It could be a combination. The woman could be from Russia, Germany. He knows how to speak to women very intelligently. He's not just intelligence, he has social intelligence. He understands that when you talk to women that are eights, nines, and tens, it ain't just you speaking intelligent, it's how you speak socially intelligent. He understands that when you deal with high level tier women, you got to bring not just your best A game, you got to have your shit together. You can't be saying I'm gonna get a house or an apartment. You have to already have a house or an apartment. You can't say I'm gonna get a car. You have to already have a car. You can't say, well, I start my first day of work today. No, you have to already have had a job. You can't say, well, I'm on my way to getting 2 jobs. No, you have to already have had 2 jobs or 3 jobs already in your ability of approaching and talking to women. Chad can actually go in the daytime or in the afternoon and speak to the most beautiful, attractive women without the police being called on them, without getting pepper sprayed, tased, or a canine dog chasing after him. Because he understands his advantages and his disadvantages. There's a saying that comes from Clint Eastwood, the legendary great Hollywood actor turned film director, writer, producer, Clint Eastwood. Yes, he's been in Hollywood for 4 decades. And if you watch the Dirty Harry movie series, I don't know if it's Dirty Harry Part 2 or Dirty Harry 3 or Dirty Harry 4, but in one of those four movies, there's a total of 5 movies of Dirty Harry. But in one of those films, 1 through 4, he says a quote in there that I'll never forget. A man's got to learn his limitations. Translation, you got to know your strengths and your weaknesses. You got to know what you're good at, what you're not good at, what you're good at, what you're bad at. For the most part, Chad knows how to talk socially. See, Chad don't care if you're bigger, you're stronger, and you're faster. But if Chad knows how to talk, Chad will be able to get the ability to speak to 10 women. He might get 5 out of 10 phone numbers because he knows how to carry a strong conversation. So, just took off. Yeah, like about an hour ago. Alright, this what's up. So, that's my uncle on my dad's side of the family. He got a new job. He making between 25 to I think like $34 an hour. So he's making some pretty outstanding money. That's the type of money that Chad makes, by the way. But my point is, Chad knows how to talk, and it don't matter what competitive atmosphere you throw Chad in. It don't matter if it's nightclubs, the bar. It don't matter if it's work. Doesn't matter if it's in a college. It does not matter if it's at the park, the mall. No matter where you put Chad at, he will thrive in a high competitive atmosphere. You put him under pressure, 110% max, and you will see Chad rise to the occasion. Now, you take a man that is socially awkward, you take a guy that does not know how to talk socially to women, and you throw him in them same competitive environments, he will not even survive the first hour. We're not even talking about 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours at a nightclub or at a bar. We're talking about he won't even survive the first hour of speaking to super hot, attractive women that are eights, nines, and tens because that guy is socially awkward. Because he's never learned how to talk socially in high school and college. So when you get a socially awkward guy that's like 25, 26, or even 30 years old, that guy would not even survive in 1 hour because he's never he's never learned social intelligence in high school and college. So by the time he gets in his mid 20s to his early 30s, it's like a decade. It's like 10 years later that he's still socially awkward and he does not know how to talk to beautiful, attractive women. Even if someone says, why don't you just talk to girls that are on his level? Even if you say to a socially awkward guy, talk to women on your own level, he still would have a problem because he still went a decade not learning how to talk. And women are very incredibly great at pointing out all your weaknesses and inefficiencies like that. They're able to immediately spot, okay, this guy doesn't know how to talk. This guy doesn't really he doesn't get it. He doesn't understand the purpose of the 5 or 6 conversations that I set up. He don't understand. This is when the girl says you're a nice guy, and I mean you really are nice, but we don't have nothing in common. You're a nice guy, but I don't want to hurt your feelings. I'm looking for someone that is 110% fully equipped to handle no matter what situation I want done. And that guy can't even understand that because he ain't never experienced it in high school, in college, or at work. And when it's 10 years later, when it's a decade later, and that guy's like 30 years old, he doesn't understand it because he's socially awkward. He stays at home all day. So when he does go to the nightclubs, when he does go to the bar, and he sees Chad pick up all the girls, The Chad that we hear stories about when we were in high school and college is the Chad that we see in the movies, the television shows, and social media. Chad can be virtually anyone walking down the street. Chad could be a basketball player, a football player, a baseball player. He could be a bodybuilder, a personal trainer, a weightlifter. Chad could be a guy that drives fast sports cars and motorcycles. Chad could be anyone that picks up eights, nines, and tens. So that Chad was always popular. You take a time machine, you take the Avengers time machine, and you go 10, 15, 20 years back into the past when you was in high school and college, you're going to see at least 5 or 10 men, not in your class, but 5 or 10 men at your high school and college that was Chad. The Chad that I'm talking about from the movies and television shows, that Chad was somebody that was, near I say, was always getting the girls. So if the guy was getting girls in high school and college, when he graduates from high school and college, he is still going to be able to pull 100% of sexual attraction even after he graduates from high school and college because he has the complete set of skills to talk at a social level that makes the woman go, this guy knows how to talk. This guy gets where I'm coming from. He gets it. I don't have to tell him get a house. I don't have to tell this guy get a car, get a job, get in shape, get better looking clothes. I ain't got to tell this man shit. But you get a guy that's socially awkward, and I used to be socially awkward, so I know what the hell I'm talking about. I was that socially awkward guy in junior high, in high school, in college. That people said, "Oh, this guy don't know how to talk. This guy don't get it. He don't understand. It ain't computing." I was that socially awkward guy. Personal experience. I got 14 years of experience. I know what I'm talking about. I'm telling you the good and the bad and the ugly. Fuck the pickup artists and the dating coaches. They ain't gonna tell you this information for free. If they were to tell you this information, they would charge you anywhere from $300 to $500, anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 cash to come to their 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour seminar. Don't matter if their pickup seminar or boot camp is 3 days or a week, they would charge you all of that just to get this information that I'm giving to you for what? Free. Because they don't like to tell the truth. They want you to buy their books and their DVDs, and when you buy their books and their DVDs, they give you half-ass answers that don't even fix the problem 100%. It's like putting a band-aid on and say, you okay, you alright, go back out to the playground and go play. That's what that is. I'm explaining to you what the problem is. You can look at sports. In the world of sports, there's a bunch of Chads. You can look at LeBron James. That's a Chad. That's a Tyrone. You could look at in the movie industry, just in the film industry alone, you see a bunch of Tyrones and a bunch of Chads. If it's a Tyrone, it's probably Dwayne The Rock Johnson. You've seen all of The Rock's Hollywood films. You've seen The Rock in the last 5 movies of Fast and Furious, with his introduction of Fast 5, Fast 6, Fast 7, Fast 8. You've seen The Rock in those 4 to 5 movies of Fast and Furious. You've seen The Rock. He's a Tyrone. He is the Tyrone when he does those movies. And when black and white women and Mexican women go to the movies to see The Rock, they refer to Dwayne The Rock Johnson as Tyrone. That is someone they find physically, sexually attractive. And when you see him in public taking pictures and signing autographs and giving handshakes and hugs, he demonstrates real masculinity as an alpha male. You say something rude or disrespectful, he will call you out on it and will bring you to the side and explain to you your actions were not respectable towards me and other people. He'll conduct himself as an alpha male. You will see an alpha male in action. You will see a Tyrone in action. Another person that's considered a Chad, Zac Efron. If you've seen those High School Musical movies, he was the Chad of that movie franchise. Women find Zac Efron physically, sexually attractive. There's Ryan Gosling. He's another one. There's Chris Pratt. If you've seen Jurassic World 1 and 2, if you've seen Guardians 1 and 2, those are 4 films he was in. And in those 4 films, he was the sexy, hot guy that women could not stop talking about on their iPhone. Women did not know what the hell Guardians of the Galaxy movie was, but they did know who Chris Pratt was, aka Star Lord. He got a lot of attention just for being in that movie. So the women, when they see Guardians 1 and 2, they're not coming to see the movie. They're coming to see him and Dave Bautista. That would be like another Chad. I'm trying to explain to you people why you don't listen to pickup artists and dating coaches, period. And you see the Chad that you hear on the internet that goes around having, trying to date, you know, older women or women that are out of shape. That Chad is a guy that was once socially awkward, and then he went from being socially awkward to becoming socially awkward. That's why I said I'm going to make 2 videos. Part 1 is to explain the Chad that you went to high school and college with, and then part 2 is going to be picking up on what happens when you find a Chad or a Tyrone or a Brad that likes older women, as in an older woman that's in her 30s, 40s, and 50s. What happens when you get a Chad, a Tyrone that likes, fat women, plus size women? What happens when you see a Chad and you go, wait a minute, here, Chad, what are you doing with a woman that's 300 pounds? That's what part 2 is going to be examining. Part 1 is me giving you the history on where this nonsense come from. Chad could be anybody at the bank. He could be at your school. He could be at your job. Chad could be in Beverly Hills or in Santa Monica, and you would never know it. He could be the guy that buys $1,000 suits, and you would never know it because he doesn't just pop up and say, "Hi, my name's Chad." When the girl starts screaming, "Oh my God, he's hot," that's how you find out if he's Tyrone or Chad. Or if you go on social media, if you go on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, that's how you find out if he's Chad, Brad, or Tyrone. You got Tyrones in the hood that can talk to 10 women and get 5 phone numbers out of 10. That Chad knows how to talk socially. So when you hear someone say the Chad Slayer, it's almost like they read way too many books of Dungeons and Dragons and saw a book called The Dragon Slayer and got the idea to get an eraser of a pencil and erase dragon and put, "I'm the Chad Slayer. I slay Chads." To slay Chad, you got to know how to talk socially. So even if you're bigger and stronger and faster and more athletic than Chad, Brad, and Tyrone, he still wins because he knows how to talk to women. He knows what women like and what women don't like. He knows what women want. He knows what women don't want. So he'll still kick your ass socially. So you could be bigger, stronger, faster, and athletic, and Chad will still win. The only way you can actually definitively beat out Chad if you don't know how to talk socially is if you're like Mark Zuckerberg. Y'all know who Mark Zuckerberg is, right? He's the one who created Facebook, right? He's the youngest multi-billionaire in history, a billionaire 10 times over. That's probably the only time you would probably get someone who can't 100% talk socially, that's socially awkward, but is rich and famous, that will actually beat out the Chad, the Tyrone, and the Brad hands down, is if you're like Mark Zuckerberg. If you're not, then you got to actually learn how to talk socially. Because even if you are bigger, stronger, faster, and athletic, that might help you get a set of women. But the type of females that Chad, Tyrone, and Brad be talking to be women that are 8s, 9s, and 10s. You go on Tinder, just Tinder, they're coming after him. If the guy goes to the bank and you see 5 girls chasing after Tyrone, that's how you find out the guy's a Tyrone, a Chad, or a Brad. The girl's chasing him. The girl's stalking him. The girl get a hold of his phone number. He doesn't give his phone number out, so they have to go to the phone book or go to the phone company, which is illegal, and get his phone number because he won't give it out. That's how you find out the guy's a Chad or a Tyrone or a Brad. They won't tell you that at them pickup artist classes, at quote unquote pickup artist boot camp, because it defeats the purpose of telling you the information because their goal is to charge you this money. That's the name of the game, money. And you need to understand that when they say Chad, They're giving you a poor representation depiction that comes from movies, television shows, books, and social media. They're not telling you Chad, Tyrone, and Brad can be anyone that is socially. You go to the nightclub and that guy comes in there and says, I'm buying everybody drinks. There's probably a 100% chance that's probably a Tyrone, a Chad, or a Brad. When he says, I'm buying everyone drinks, drinks are on me, and he pays everybody's tab at the nightclub, at the bar, there's probably a chance that he's a Tyrone, a Chad, or a Brad. He's not going to just walk up to you and say, by the way, I'm Chad. I get all the girls. By the way, I'm Brad. Or by the way, I'm Tyrone. He's not going to do that. He's not going to make himself known unless he has to. The Chad who does do that is the one who's sexually frustrated and will basically date any girl in the skirt or will have sex with any girl in the skirt. That's the second Chad. The first Chad does not do that level of desperation. In fact, that Chad or Tyrone Bragg won't even show any signs of urgency of desperation. It's like what Drake said in that rap song from 4 years ago, I normally don't do this unless I'm drunk. You go listen to that rap song, he's telling you what's the difference between the Chad that you saw in high school and college pulling women and the Chad that you see that people tell you, oh, I saw a Chad talk to a 300-pound woman. There's two different Chads. Don't ever listen to a pickup artist and a dating coach if they're not telling you this information. This information they hide from you and tell you, well, that information I gotta charge you thousands of dollars for. No, you just need to come to my YouTube channel and watch my video, and I'll give it to you for free. This is how come when you go to the nightclubs and the bars, you're always at a 99.999% disenfranchised. Translation, you're at a disadvantage. Because the way I'm breaking it down, the way I'm explaining the math and the science, I'm explaining it to you so you get the full depth information on why you're not succeeding. Why are you failing and not succeeding? Because Chad, Tyrone, and Brad could be anyone. He could be a bank investor. He could be in a rock band. He could be a rapper. He could be anyone that's popular. He could be there. And if he knows how to talk socially, Chad is not concerned with you're bigger. Wow, you're big. You're buff. Wow. Chad's not concerned about that. That don't impress Chad, Tyrone, and Brad. Oh, you're taller than me. Wow. Question Chad and Tyrone and Brad gonna ask is, do you know how to talk socially to women? Because if the answer is yes, then you can be the Chad Slayer. But if you can't even talk socially, you can't be Chad. Because the Chad that you keep hearing on the internet, the one that will have sex with fat women or older women, that is a guy who got rejected his whole entire life in high school, college. Uh, it happened to him at his job, and it wasn't until he got in his late 30s, early 40s, and then from out of nowhere, fate stepped in and took a magic wand and said, whoop, now you're Chad. That's Chad number two. And I'm going to make a part two when we get to spring break. It could be at the end of this week. It could be the next week. I would turn around and make part two called Chad Part 2. If I'm in a good mood by tonight, you could get that video tomorrow or you can get it Wednesday. It all depends on my mood for part two. Part one was to give you the truth versus the misconception of what you think of Chad. So this video went a lot longer than suspected. Until next time, peace.